In the dark there lies a tale, hey, with Joshua Joseph's voice. And beside him Viking storm stays, they speak with no choice. From the deep and blackened waters, where the secrets wail and cry, they pull back forgotten covers, exposing the murky lies. What you hear cannot be unseen, a saga from the waves. Conspiracies unravel in the dark, as depths become our graves. They talk of ghostly whispers, an ancient treasure's call, with theories wrapped in shadows, the waters deep and all. The oceans hide their secrets well, but not from this dark crew. Joshua and Viking storm, they seek, they find what's true. What you hear cannot be unseen, a saga from the waves. Conspiracies unravel in the dark, as depths become our graves. The oceans hide their secrets well, but not from this dark crew. Joshua and Viking storm, they seek, they find what's true. What you hear cannot be unseen, a saga from the waves. Conspiracies unravel in the dark, as depths become our graves. As depths become our graves.
What is up, conspiracy friends? We are at Seas, and it is your favorite show, your Conspiracies at Seas, here again for another voyage with one of my friends that I've come to find through the internets, the old interwebs. He is the one, the only Viking Storm, and he brings with him our young Jamie herself, Luna. How are you guys doing? How goes it? What is up?
I suppose it's been a minute since we've done this, isn't it? I think it's been like a month.
It has been a minute. It has been a little bit.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of shit happen. I mean, I tell you, it sucks that July 4th, when your AC goes out,
Oh,
that
yeah.
fucking sucked. Oh, it sucked for us. It was bad. We've had the last few weeks of a lot of saving money and having to spend it completely at once because scraping by, and yeah, it's been a bit of a shit show for us right now. Things are better though right now. I just found out I'm gonna be an uncle again. My sister is pregnant again. Not really surprised that they're having a second kid, but literally my nephew's birthday is end of the month.
Okay. Awesome. I love that. My sister's birthday is
So
at the end of this
yeah,
month.
yeah. My nephew's at 1, right? Yeah. Is he 1 or 2? No, he's 1. He's got to be 1. I don't.
Well,
Yeah. I try to think between a lot of shit's happened the last few years. He's either going to be 1 or 2. I don't remember right now.
well,
I see my
Grunmeister's,
family when I can.
he's excited about it. He's saying congratulations.
Thank
And
you, bro.
I think he's asking, yeah, tell me about how JFK wasn't unalived by a crazy person. So he's already thrown out requests like we're a fucking radio station. So apparently he wants
I
to talk a
mean, you
little.
know what? That'd be a cool like interactive Q&A episode. people ask a question of like what they want to know about, and then you just like tell them.
It could be fun. It could be fun
That'd
as
be
long as
epic.
we had
Hope
enough
so.
people in here asking some questions
Yeah,
and wanting to know some things. Yeah, we could definitely do something like that.
would have to definitely push it out for like a episode in like a month or so just to get enough people.
Yeah. And we got
That'd be pretty
happy
dope.
to know that you guys are back to getting things together. It's a little struggle going that through that myself.
Oh
But
yeah,
that's what it is. That's life, and we just keep pushing forward because, well, that's what a Viking does on his ship. Um,
we had
they
2 weeks of no AC, so yeah, we had to fucking push forward.
you had to, you had to. But
Yeah,
no,
we had to buy the portable AC unit, stick in the window, and have the tube going to it, and have a bucket next to it for the AC runoff, and we did that. And I have two big ass 30-inch fans, like shop floor fans,
hmm
because that's what I sleep with on. Because I like to be cold at night. I like to not hear fucking everything else in the world. And so I have those two big fans. A good thing I do because they kind of saved us. They really did for a minute.
well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
But
glad to hear
how have
it.
you been? You went to a softball game for the blind yesterday, I believe.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, we won't talk about that. That would be me making fun of
Oh,
anywhere from 13 to 16-year-old girls trying to play softball. So we will move past that
I
one. But
was
besides
waiting
that,
for it. Because
yeah,
when I read
beside
that, I was like, oh, I know what he's talking about.
yeah, I'm glad nobody tried to probe any deeper into that questioning. They were just like, oh, we'll let
No,
them go.
I fucking laughed at it though.
Yeah. Well, trust me, I was
Shit, that one
laughing while
got
I
me.
sat
I'm not
there
gonna lie.
for 4 hours watching that. But there were some good hits. There were some always decent players, but a majority of it was I don't know what that fucker was, but it was something. Anyways, yeah, everything's going good.
How are your girls
Uh,
doing with softball? So
oh, fantastic! Already got one
yeah.
getting linked up with a team next year. That coach is already talking about her going D1, and we're getting ready to talk to LSU and all those colleges. So, looking forward to
Fuck
that.
yeah, man.
Just had a
That's awesome.
birthday Thursday. Brian Kendrick told me happy birthday live on a podcast Friday night. So I was excited about that. But other than that, just
Wow.
living,
Brian.
working. Yeah, the old Brian Kendrick from back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah, he was on a
But
podcast,
yeah, no,
join
I
in,
was
and
waiting until now to do it. So yeah, happy late birthday again.
oh, no worries, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, you know, honestly, now that I've gotten older, I've met so many people who have my birthday that it's like, well, it's not that special anymore. You kind of, I got a set of twins in my wife's side of the family. They share the same birthday too. So it's always interesting now that I'm in there. We're kind of like triplets. So,
Well, that's like uh, my dad and my brother. My dad's born the 18th of April. My brother's the 17th. So
ah,
he's born the day before. And then my stepmom and my sister, who's gonna have her second kid, their birthday is the same day.
oh, that's fun. That's got to
Yeah,
be
and
a
then
real
me and
fun time.
my oldest stepsister and me are both the oddballs out.
Well, maybe you guys are just the two cool people in the family, so that works to your advantage.
Definitely got along the most.
Oh,
That's the
well,
funny thing. Mostly because we both hate people equally. She would
well,
make fun
see,
of people with me.
maybe that's the
My family
ultimate.
together is a lot more interesting.
Yeah, the ultimate Power Ranger power right there is when you two
Yeah.
link up and
Oh yeah.
make fun of people.
Oh yeah.
All right, so guys, tonight, uh, so far there's been some huge things that have been happening. We are going to get to those things, fans. Right before we went live, we were discussing a way to talk about some things. But Viking, I'm going to give you and Luna the floor first before we go into the subject. So if you guys got any information that you want to talk about or need to talk about, we'll get it out here now before we jump into it.
Because we haven't had the opportunity, I want to first say I am sorry to anybody who lost somebody in the Texas floods.
Oh yeah.
that Bernie area and such. That was a huge thing that happened the beginning of the month, and I seen what happened. I want to do a shout out here. There's the group of YouTubers like Demolition Ranch, okay, which was famous last year for a minute because of the shirt that a certain attempted assassinationist wore during a rally last year that was the only one televised on CNN of a certain now sitting president. Um, yeah, he owns Bunker Branding, Demolition Ranch. Matt Carricker. He's retired now from YouTube, but he owns Bunker Branding, and right now they are packed full of donations. They've said that every day they have 4 full truckloads, and I mean like the delivery trucks of Amazon packages coming in for support. So it's huge to see that. I that makes me happy. And another YouTuber I watch who said, actually, it's so the Guadalupe River is what flooded, and that goes right through where Demolition Ranch owns, which was supposed to be Desperado Resort. He's now selling. So the way it's made though is the water wouldn't have risen into that area, made a flood, but there was a bunch of YouTubers going to have a July 4th party down there by the Guadalupe River when this happened, and they decided not to. And I'm really happy they didn't, because it could have been some very big time influential people in certain aspects of the world. I don't just mean YouTube. They have a lot of invoice in their community and such that they do very well. And I'm going to give a mention here to another YouTuber called Donut Operator, which a lot of people know, who does police breakdown videos, and Brennan Herrera, who is a big speaker of NRA. He owns his own gun shop. He made the AK-50, which he was famous for, and he has a big voice too in the political side of things. He even tried running for Congress. He was considered to once be the ATF director. He was almost the ATF director for a minute this year for Trump. So yeah. And these are two people who do huge things in Texas for the gun community, for military, EMTs, everybody you could think of. They try to do as much as they can for communities. And I'm really happy that they weren't there, because that would have been a huge impact for me, because these are two people I actually care about, like to watch, and the community that they would have been there on July 4th. So I'm really happy they didn't do that party, because that would have been really fucking bad. And they actually went out during the Texas floods, and they helped everyone. They bought generators, radios, energy drinks from their own company that they own, and they gave out to first responders, everything they could. So I liked seeing how much the community was really helping each other. Yeah, and that was a very devastating thing that happened. That was probably the biggest thing that happened last month. So
Yeah, that was one of the biggest things. And, we're having, hopefully the administration is taking care of the people who were affected, and they get more than a one-time payment of $700.
I
So
mean, Trump had
we'll hope for
troops
that.
and helicopters and everything there within 2 hours.
Yeah, I was
The National
I was
Guard there.
just making fun of the former
Oh, I know.
administration.
Oh, I know. And
Well,
those.
you stepped all over the goddamn joke.
Yeah, well, I had to come in with Trump Daddy, doing right. So
I know he's doing right.
You are fake news.
Whoa, Mr. Trump.
whoa, whoa,
Wow,
whoa,
you can
whoa,
just settle
whoa.
down,
This will
Mr.
just go
Trump.
fuck myself.
Yeah, I
I
guess
have a
so.
very deep desire to kill all of you. I don't know what that is, so I'm not going to come in.
Whoa,
I mean, that's.
whoa,
I mean,
Grun.
same,
That's Grun's drop.
same.
He does
So
not like that drop when you put it to a picture of him. He gets a little upset. So, but I love him the most
yeah,
because
but
he's
Grud's
my
the
little
person I can
brother.
think of when you play that clip, though.
Yeah, well, I definitely play it when I know he's annoyed with me. So, anyways, he's okay with me. He's absolutely
I'm kind of retarded.
understanding. I'm retarded. It's just me. That's who I am, and we move on. So, Viking, any more things that we need to hit before we dive into this deep discussion we're
I
about to get
mean,
into?
the funniest thing that happened last month is when you don't know how to properly burglarize and you get caught for it.
Ah, yes. Some people just aren't good at it.
No, specifically like Minnesota senators.
Yes. Minnesota's really like just having its weird leaders do some weird ass shit.
because the other senators, I'm very confused. He's going to jail for or being suspected of a hitman thing or with his wife. I'm confused. A
Yeah,
different
well,
senator is something else. I don't even know. I'm so confused
I
with their shit.
believe I believe he was a supporter, and he shot and killed two sitting people, and then
Yeah,
shot and injured two
yeah,
sitting others because they were Democrats. They were coming. They basically they just got, like, I think it was a week before all that happened. They just came out and said how they're not going with what the Democrats are voting for, and that they're actually looking at what Trump is doing, and they're agreeing with him. And then crazy people put on weird ass skin masks and go to houses and shoot them, and then have their wives take passports and $10,000 and go. And yeah, it's a weird thing.
Ugh, dude,
I honestly can't wait for it all
I
to
know
come
it's
out.
interesting. I've been like waiting for like more information because I'm just but, like that whole thing. I was just very confused with that part. I was like, huh? Because I
Mhm.
see 300 different like news headlines, I guess, about it or articles. I'm just like, I'm a little confused on what the fuck actually happened.
Yeah, it's a little confusing, but I think that's a tactic that they use
Hmm.
to make sure that
I
it's
mean, look at what just happened. Clearly, if you're not with that Democrat side over in fucking Minnesota, you get shot.
yeah. Well, you ain't lying. You are not lying. There's a lot of politicians right now that are being
I want to go to
threatened.
Minnesota now and just hold up. Do you guys miss Jesse Ventura? Just hold up the sign. Just walk around Minnesota with that. Do you guys miss Jesse Ventura as your governor? You miss him? Just
Well,
just just walk around that side.
uh,
I'd definitely get my ass beat in Minneapolis, probably.
yeah, Jesse, he was a different type of beast,
Uh,
lovable, and maybe sometimes should have came with a mute mic, and we would have been
yeah,
able
but you know
to.
what though? For a Midwest, to be a Midwest senator though, or a governor, he's kind of what people like though, because he's a lot like how Trump is now. Spoke his fucking mind and didn't,
Yeah,
shy
yeah,
away
he
from
did,
bullshit.
but he had that Alex Jones bit to him to where it
Yeah,
was a lot at once, and you have to get those people, you have to get them to calm the fuck down when they're telling the shit, and more people will be drawn to them.
oh
The craziness is what really, I think, bites Alex Jones in the ass when he comes, because he's been talking about a lot of this stuff that's coming true. I mean, if we're going on current news, we have a former president who, since the investigation to the Russian Gate hoax and the spying on Trump in 2016 has come to light, and they've gone through all the files, it's looking like a former president was in control of all that, and
oh wow.
not looking too good. So if honestly, if they slap the cuffs on him, I can see a, what Tim Pool's famous for saying, a civil war to happen in this country yet again. So who knows? Life is life, and people are doing what they want to do, and we'll just stay here doing our thing,
We
doing.
like to troll. We like to go the night before one of their primaries. We do a little trolling. It's called we do a little trolling.
Fuck.
Mr.
Why?
President, you are on one tonight, sir. But we're glad you're here with us, and I say, you guys ready to get into the subject for tonight?
Uh, I thought about 30 different things the last minute. I just keep
I
forgetting
bet
what
you
the
did.
fuck I was gonna say.
I bet you
I just
fucking
keep
did.
getting distracted.
Yeah, well, we need to get you on
Autistic for
some
this shit.
medication. Every time we do
2,000 years later.
You shut the
I
fuck
was
up for that woman.
I was waiting for Luna to drop in at any moment, and there she is, fans. So if you hear those drops, it might be me, but a majority of the time it will be our young Jamie herself, Luna. Viking, am I right in what I titled this with the picture I sent to you? We're going with that route. It's
This was supposed to be like it. it could be multiple different ways said, but it's pretty much political assassinations that kind of did an influential, thing on the environment, I guess, the community, the world. It had to have an impact in some sort of way.
Yes. Yeah. I agree with that. So tonight's subject is going to be what I titled as political assassinations heard around the world, which I thought, heard around the world, that does cover the impact that we were talking about. So,
Mhm.
fans, before we get into the subject, you know what we got to do.
Disclaimer. The theories and opinions discussed on this podcast are for entertainment and informational purposes only. They are strictly speculative and should not be taken as factual or authoritative. The views expressed are those of the hosts and guests and do not represent established facts or expert consensus. Listener discretion is advised!
All right, fans. So that is it. That's our disclaimer. That kind of saves us a little bit if anybody ever comes after us for this hot topic of a discussion. And no, we're not talking about a story you can go and pretend to be goth. We're talking about the hot topics of political induced assassinations. So, fans, friends, anybody who's paying attention, or if you're listening on the audio version, which is on Spotify, let's get into it. We're going to talk some political assassinations heard around the world. All right, guys. So let's dive into this one. We're all going to have a topic in which we discuss. I believe Luna's first up for our topics. So I'm going to let her take over and let you guys know what she wants to talk about. And let's learn something from Luna.
Hi everybody, how you doing? Thanks for that wonderful introduction. That was wonderful.
Oh, not a problem.
So I'm going to be telling you the story and mysteries of Grigory Rasputin. So in this story, I'll touch on the subjects of his early life, his rise to power, and the influences and scandals that led to his death. Beyond that, I'll get into the interesting myths and mysteries surrounding his life, so strap in. Rasputin was born January 21st, 1869, and died December 30th, 1916. He lived in the Siberian village of, I'm going to totally not say this right, but Pokrovskia, and is one of the most enigmatic and controversial figures in Russian history. A Siberian peasant turned mystic and healer, he became a close confidant to the Romanov loyal family in the early 20th century. His influence, lifestyle, and bizarre death have spawned countless legends, conspiracy theories, and tales of the supernatural. He was an illiterate peasant from a family of farmers. He received no formal religious training. Around 1897, he had a religious awakening. Ooh, we love that. He left his family and village to go on a pilgrimage, which began his transformation into a religious mystic, and through his travels became known as the wandering quote-unquote holy man with alleged healing powers and prophetic abilities. In 1905, he was introduced to the royal court by high-ranking clergy. His reputation as a healer gained attention. Between 1907 and 1916, Rasputin helped Alexei Romanov, who suffered from hemophilia on several occasions, which started after Alexei suffered threatening internal hemorrhage after a bumpy carriage ride. They didn't put the shocks on. The young boy the young boy was expected to die, per the doctors. Tsarina Alexandra wrote to Rasputin in desperation, to which Rasputin sent a telegram back saying, Little one will not die. Do not allow the doctors to bother him too much. After Rasputin started his healing methods, the boy started immediately to improve. Through his work with Alexei, he won the trust of Tsarina Alexandra, who was the Empress of Russia, the wife of Tsar Nicholas II, and the last Tsarina of the Russian Empire. She was a deeply religious woman, a granddaughter of Queen Victoria, and the central figure in the tragic downfall of the Romanov dynasty. Alexandra became increasingly dependent on Rasputin, especially in World War I, when Tsar Nicholas II left for the front and she governed in his place. Rasputin's methods weren't scientific in nature, but were reportedly things like prayer and spiritual healing, hypnosis or trance-like calming, physical touch, and direct presence, meaning he sang hymns and chanted softly. He was also against and highly discouraged from any medicine. So why did his methods work? For those who don't know what hemophilia is, it's a genetic disorder where the blood doesn't clot properly, aka thin blood. Doctors back then were prescribing aspirin, which they did not know at the time was a natural blood thinner, hence why Alexei's condition worsened with medical care. When Rasputin stepped in, he stopped the prescription, and his methods allowed Alexei's condition to improve. Rasputin was able to calm and reduce stress, which allowed the body to slow down enough to help the healthy cycle of normal clotting. He sounds like a saint, right? Not at all. There are some wildly weird tales about Rasputin that even shocked me. So, I'm going to say this wrong. Orgasmic healing. Some said Rasputin believed sin was necessary for redemption, encouraging sex as a form of spiritual enlightenment. He was a self-proclaimed messiah, thought by some of his followers to be the prophet or a second coming of Christ. And this one makes me laugh. Rumors of a penis relic. Yes, I said penis. An urban legend claims Rasputin preserved his penis and is held in a museum in Paris or Russia. Probably a hoax, but the story persists.
This guy's a cool guy.
Actually, it just recently was supposedly purchased somewhere.
Someone purchased his penis.
Yeah,
This is amazing. This guy is a
yeah,
cool. I wish I
yeah.
had a guitar.
It
I'd do
was
a guitar riff.
supposedly someone that was like very close to the family was trusted, and they bought it, and then somebody sold it again for like I don't know, like $2,000 or something
I
to
fucking
someone
love it.
else just recently. I just seen the picture like not too long ago. I was like, that's and there's speculation that's actually a bull's penis that's preserved in it, which makes kind of sense because the way it looks.
Yeah, it's his.
Yeah,
I like this story.
Yeah, you didn't know this, did you?
Oh yeah. Let's dive deeper into this fucking
Yeah,
rascal.
yeah.
I love this.
Rasputin's a little fucked up.
Oh boy. So his murder. Why and how? So Rasputin's influence, behavior, and mystique led to widespread hatred among the Russian aristocracy. Probably said that wrong. Clergy, politicians, and even common citizens. By the time of his assassination in December 1916, he was seen as a dangerous figure who threatened the stability of the Imperial Russia both politically and symbolically. So, some bullet points that I have is political influence over the Tsarina. Rasputin had direct influence over Tsarina Alexandra, who effectively governed World War II while, again, her husband was out at the front. He advised on key administrative appointments, many of which were disastrous. For example, he pushed for the appointment of Boris Sturmer as prime minister, a man widely seen as incompetent and corrupt. So Rasputin's sway made the monarchy look weak, irrational, and corrupt. There was public outrage and scandal. So he was accused of being a sexual deviant, a drunken fraud, and possibly sleeping with Azrina Alexandra.
He was. That's like the main reason why supposedly he was assassinated. That's been like the biggest talking point of his life, or a big reason why he was killed is because he was fucking her. He was. It's been written in his. It was like in his personal journal, I think, or something, or something else. But yeah, he was banging her.
It's probably why she allowed him to make all those decisions. He also offended the church. So Rasputin was viewed as
No
a
way.
blasphemer, yeah, and heretic by many in the Orthodox Church. His assassination was rumored Kislecht sect, which was practiced spiritual cleansing through sex, which is obviously super scandalous. He also had a fear of national collapse. So during World War One, Russia was suffering from mass casualties, economic breakdown, revolution brewing in the streets. A lot of people believed Rasputin's advice was wrecking the war effort and making peace with Germany, more than likely. Some conspiracies even claimed that he was a German agent helped by Alexandra. So they thought he was a German by birth, which is interesting. So the assassination. The conspirators allegedly, because obviously we don't always know, but Prince Felix, I don't know the last name. He was a wealthy noble married to the Tsar's niece. Grand Duke Dmitry Pavlovich, he was a cousin of the Tsar. Vladimir, can't say the last name. I'm not Russian. He was an ultra nationalist Duma member, and possibly others, some people in the British intelligence agents, like Oscar Rayner. Some of the things that they said that how he died, it's weird because they said he was poisoned, although modern reports contradict this because they say there's no solid evidence that he was poisoned. They said cyanide, but they couldn't figure that out. Initially, they said the served cakes, like little cakes that they would have, cakes and wine, were laced with cyanide. But again, they couldn't find anything. He was shot the first time. Um, he, he was shot in the chest. He fell and then got back up. He was shot again second and third times. Um, who? Persevic? I can't pronounce these stupid names. They're crazy. Perskovich, who shot him twice, including once in the head. He was beaten and bound, bludgeoned with a dumbbell, tied up and wrapped up in a curtain, and drowned in the Neva River. So the two that are least likely, that again modern autopsy says was drowning and poison, but the other ones are plausible apparently. So more or less his legacy was uh, he's kind of immortalized in fiction, films, even pop music. You probably have heard that one before. They played on, was it Dance Dance Revolution or whatever it was?
I don't know. Don't look at me.
And he remains a symbol of mystery, corruption, mysticism, and downfall. People also say that he was satanic or in a cult, but not confirmed.
Wow. This
He's a
guy,
weirdo.
he's a wild one.
Giggity,
Yeah,
giggity, giggity.
I mean,
'cause
he's the
I remember
original
supposedly the
quagmire.
first way he was like a attempted suicide or attempted suicide. The attempted first assassination was that he got shot or something, is what I heard.
Yeah. Wow. What a life. It's so funny though, like he's claiming that he's like some mystic healer and all he did was get them to quit giving this fucking bleed out victim fucking aspirin. He probably
Yeah.
crushed a lot of puss with just that moment.
Well, he was rumored to be banging a lot of guys' wives.
Well, why wouldn't you? This dude's a fucking walking healer. He is a fucking cool dude.
He was supposedly very manipulative, and yeah, so that's why.
Nah, he
Basically,
was just
Ron
doing
Jeremy of his time.
he was just doing cool guy shit, and chicks thought it was cool. So what are they gonna give him back then? Some pelts, some rabbit fur? Nah, they're like, take a little piece of me, buddy.
He just got a different kind of fur.
Yeah, he definitely got some type of fur. That boy is wild, man. What a crazy story. That was awesome. Way to go, Luna. Fantastic research as always. You do excellent work. Really hit the topic from point A to point B, and you stay on course. So that is definitely one of the best things about it. Unlike me and Viking, we're always fucking just going wherever the fuck our mind takes us. You know,
It's
that's
scary.
just, it is. It's very scary.
I'm Brian Fellow.
Me too. I'm Brian Fellow too. That is still ultimate fucking Saturday Night Live skit. Brian Fellows. I fucking love when Tracy Morgan did those.
I just thought you were really retarded.
No, he was just a very cautious young man who loved animals.
Oh, no, I meant you.
Oh yeah, I am. Well,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's just where I'm
good to know.
at all times. All right, so Viking, is it your turn or my turn to get into this one?
If you want to do yours, go ahead.
Oh well, we'll jump into mine. I'll jump in head first. I am going to talk about one of the guys who told Libya, "Hey, if you vote for me, let me tell you what I'll do for you. I'll give you free energy. There's no, you're not going to pay for nothing because everything that we produce is going to pay for everybody's everything." And there was a bunch of people in Libya who were living there, and they're like, you know what? Shit sucks. This guy, Muammar Gaddafi, this dude, he's got some fucking shit to talk about. Let's listen to him. So they did. And well, you know what? I'm gonna pull the brakes and I'm gonna reveal it to you guys because this one is a fun one. And if you don't know it, well, you've been living under a fucking rock for so long. This one has implications of, yes, our own United States government going in and fucking taking out a dude who's like, hey, I can liberate people. I mean, I do some other fucked up shit behind the scenes, but we don't have to worry about that. Just focus on what I'm telling you here. So, Gaddafi, the former leader of Libya, he was killed on October 20th, 2011, during a battle of Shirti by National Transition Council, the NTC, forces, following a prolonged conflict that marked the culmination of the Libyan civil war. That the events leading to his death were shaped by a combination of internal dissent. That means people inside were like, we don't like this guy. There's international intervention. That means somebody over here had a sinister mustache and they were twisting it and they were saying, hey, we got to keep Libya under our thumb. Got to keep them smushed. Go over there and check out what Gaddafi's talking about. So, and his own actions and his policies did have some things to do with his assassination. Let's just call it that because that's what it was. So here's a detailed outline of the key factors and events that contributed to his demise. One was the rise to power and the early rule. This was in 1969 through the 70s. 1969 coup. Gaddafi seized the power in a bloodless military coup where in September 1st, 1969, overthrowing King Idris I. As a young army officer, he established the Libyan Arab Republic, promoting uh, Arab area. Arab national and socialism. That is some fucking shit you got to throw together.
Arab. You gotta say Arab.
Arab. It's fucking weird, man, the way they write it in here. Anyways, you
Yeah,
know,
it is.
the basically some nationalists and socialists. So some nationalism is basically you love your country. This is, you want your country to be the best. And socialism, well, that's just a bunch of whiny pussies who can't do nothing and they want your shit. So if you mix those together, it's kind of a deadly combination. But the oil nationalization in the 1970s, he nationalized Libya's oil industry, which brought significant wealth, but also strained relations with Western powers, particularly the United States and European countries reliant on Libyan oil. I know back then, reading through history and shit, yeah, Libya was ready to fucking take over the world with oil. They were like, we got it.
Yeah,
And
they were.
they were willing to cut underneath exactly what the United States and the European nations who were in control of their own oil um, they were going to undercut them. So it would have basically made to where United States and Europe would have had to even undercut Libya, and that wasn't going to happen. They definitely weren't going to let that happen.
You don't
So
fuck with our oil.
yeah, you do not mess with our oil. We have learned that many times in just our lifetime. So the Green Book and ideology. Uh, Gaddafi authorized the Green Book, outlining his third international theory, a mix of Islamic socialism and anti imperialism, which he used to justify his authoritarian governance and sur- and his suppressed dissent.
Huh?
I think it might be a misspelling. He pretty much his suppressive ruling, like how he was very Libya was very controlled. I mean, yes, were they free to work in however fields, all the fields that they wanted to and innovate in that way? Yes, they were very, let's say,
Aren't they
liberal.
poppy farmers out there?
Huh?
Aren't they poppy farmers?
I believe there were some poppy farms, but I don't think Libya's main export was poppy at the time. But they were able to be liberal in their work practices, but when it came to, if you wanted to walk out in an American jacket out in the middle of Libya, that wasn't going to work out too fucking well for you.
No.
So there, he did have a bit of a squeeze upon his people. Um, so there was also the international pharaoh status. This was support for terrorism. Gaddafi's regime was linked to sponsoring militant groups, including the 1988 uh, Lockbria bombing, which it was a Pan AM Flight 103, which killed 270 people. This led to severe sanctions and isolation by Western nations. So basically, him and his little terrorist group, they fucking bombed a fucking airplane with 270 on it and took it out.
Jesus.
That's crazy. So that led to the Western world being like, "Okay, you've crossed too many lines, buddy." Um, so confrontations with the West, his confrontational stance, including military advances in Chad and threats against neighboring countries, furthered alienations with him and the international communities. Uh, Economic and social policies, despite oil wealth, his economic governance and repression of political oppositions created international discontent. Though he maintained control through a network of loyalists and security forces. So basically, he had a group of people who were willing to make sure he stayed in power no matter what. And well, that sometimes that can get a little, I don't know, dictatorish. You can kind
Wow.
of,
That doesn't
yeah.
sound familiar like it's been in other places at all, or, you know.
No, I don't think it has. So now we're on to point three, his reintegration and shifting dynamics of the 2000s. Uh, so he was making up with the West in 2003. Gaddafi renounced weapons and mass destruction and paid compensation to the Lockbri bombing. leading to the lifting of sanctions and a thaw in relations with the U.S. and Europe. His oil and economic deals, Libya became a key oil supplier, and Western companies returned. But Gaddafi's demands for migration control funding, e.g., the 5 billion uh, annually from the EU. Oh my God! So
Oh
the
shit!
the EU was giving him $5 billion annually, and his
Like we were
unpredictable.
saying annually. Like what exactly annually are they? Like how? What's that amount of time?
That's a good question.
Like because that you didn't say yearly, you said annually. So
Yep,
what's the yearly?
that's a good question. So it could be 5 billion every time he asked, and how many
Yeah.
times is he asking? And then on top of that, so that's where they're starting to question. Like, okay, so we're already into the 2000s. He's made apologies. He's paid some of the victims of the bombing that he did, and then he's I guess he eased up and became a large key supplier for Europe and the West for their oil. Uh, but he's withdrawing 5 billion at a time, and this is early 2000s. This isn't like now when billion doesn't matter. Um,
Oh, so this is what. Okay, real quick, how much of this did it go to us being in debt, like added on? Because you're saying early 2000s, and we did business with him, and well, we all know the early 2000s war, and that was an oil war pretty much,
mhm.
and yeah, so
It wasn't directly from us. Now this
okay,
is the EU, so this is what we're over with in Europe to help them. Uh, Part of what's that one fucking coalition they have over NATO. So it's a
yeah,
part of like it's what was NATO before NATO. You know what I mean?
hmm
So but his unpredictable behavior kept tensions alive between the US and Europe. Um so he had some growing internal dissent despite economic gains, corruption, uh, and the lavish lifestyles of his family fueled this all fueled resentment among the Libyans, particularly the youth. The Arab Spring in Libya uprising. So this was in 2011. Regime or regional influence. The 2011 Arab Spring uprising in Tunisia and Egypt inspired protest in Libya, starting in February in Benghazi, demanding political reform and an end to the Gaddafi's 42-year rule. The brutal response, Gaddafi's regime responded with force, using military units and mercenaries to crush protesters, killing hundreds. His February 20th speech, threatening rivers of blood, escalated the conflict. Formation of the NTC opposition groups formed the Transna- Transnational Council, the NTC, in Benghazi, gaining international recognition the and marking the start of a civil war between Gaddafi's loyalists and the rebels. NATO's intervention and military campaign uh, had a UN resolution in 1973. In March 2011, the UN authorized a no fly zone to protect civilians, leading to NATO's Operation Unified Protector, with significant involvement from France, the UK, and the US. Uh, by August 2011, rebel forces backed NATO by airstrikes captured Tripoli, forcing Gaddafi and his family to flee. His wife and some children escaped to uh, Algeria while he went into hiding. Gaddafi retreated to his hometown of Sharit a loyalist stronghold where NTC forces supported by NATO laid siege. The city forced intense bombings, reducing Gaddafi's all his options to leave this city. The final days in the capture. So here we are towards the end. Okay, so in October 2011, escape attempt. On October 19th and 20th, Gaddafi, with a small group of loyalists, including his son Matassim, attempted to break out of Sharit in a convoy. NATO airstrikes, likely from French jets or a U.S. drone, hit the convoy, uh, scattering the group. Wounded, Gaddafi took refuge into a drainage pipe near Shahid. NTC fighters located him with the video evidence shows him being dragged out, beaten, and humiliated by his captors. Uh, the extent of circumstances of his death remain disputed. NTC officials claimed he died from wounds sustained in crossfire, but footage suggests he was executed after captured, possibly shot in the head or abdomen. Human Rights Watch and others have called it a possible war crime. Underlining motives. Uh, so resource control. Some argue the Western powers sought out for Libya's oil reserves and things like that. Some people were saying that he was trying to uh, take over and slowly regain or slowly get more control over countries around him. And others say that it was strictly because of his lavish lifestyle and holding the people who got him into power down. Um, Here's a side note, because there is, if you're out there fans and you know anything about the old Hill Dog and the Clintons, this is a big thing. So Hillary Clinton, she was the U.S. Secretary of State at the time that Gaddafi was murdered. So give me one quick thing to read, and then we'll get into talking about this. So after Gaddafi's death on October 20th, 2011, Hillary Clinton, the United States Secretary of State, made a notable comment during a CBS News interview. When informed of unconfirmed reports of Gaddafi's death, she laughed. She said, and this is the quote, "We came, we saw, he died." Paraphrasing a Roman phrase, Vini Vidi Vici. This was in response to the reports of the questions about her recent visit to Libya, where she met with the NTC leaders and had connection with to Gaddafi's demise. She instantly replied no, but then with a chuckle and rolling her eyes added, "I'm sure I'm sure it did." Later, Clinton clarified that her government would have preferred Gaddafi be captured and tried, and she called for a joint UN Libyan investigation into his death. These statements followed her visit to Tripoli on October 18th, 2011, described by some media as a victory lap after Gaddafi's fall. And "we came, we saw, he died" remark has been made widely discussed, with some interpreting cele- it was a celebration statement, while others, including critics on X, view it as a callous reflecting negatively on the United States foreign policies. So
I
that
mean,
is
I
Gaddafi.
mean, the guy should have been killed no matter what. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
We'll
shots
be
fired!
He's a
Oh!
dictator, right?
he. Yes, he was. Yes, but again, there's a lot of times that the United States tends to go into places where things are being said that we don't always hear about. We're always hearing about weapons of mass destruction. We're hearing about this, we're hearing about that, but we're not living there. We're not seeing what's actually happening. And there are some reports that Libya was a place to go. And if you wanted to make money and you wanted to strike deals, you go to Libya. And before she made her trip over there to and spoke to the NTC and those people, uh, like I was saying, Gaddafi was talking some mad shit about free energy, free everything, oil covering everything, and like his his people would be making money just being Libyans. And I don't know. But yeah, he was a dictator. He did some fucked up shit. I'm not saying that he did not do fucked up shit. But how much fucked up shit did he actually do?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. But I thought it was interesting because this is the one thing that I think kept Hillary, besides Trump and his ability to capture an audience. I think this was one thing that kind of put a big kibosh on her,
Mm.
because they don't say it in that, but, and I'm not sure if you ever seen it, but back in the day, they had a uncensored video of Gaddafi being captured, and they
Do
drag him
remember that?
through. You remember them dragging him through the streets and people
Mhm.
stabbing him and all that shit, and then they fucking hung his ass. They didn't
Yep.
shoot him. They fucking hung his
No, they
ass in
didn't
front of
shoot him.
everybody.
They hung his ass.
And then people stabbed him even more. And they were like, I heard reports of them taking sticks and shoving it up his ass while he was being drugged. There was like some real, yeah, ow, exactly. But yeah, yeah, Gaddafi, very interesting dude. Not saying
Mhm.
that he's right in any of his things, any of his
I mean,
practices.
you can say the same thing about Hitler, dude. He's very interesting to learn about. Nothing he
Yeah.
did was right, but it's still interesting to learn about this shit.
Well, we have to learn about it so we can avoid it in future. You know what
Oh,
I
what do you
mean?
talk about? I mean, other people just want to be just like him, and they try to keep making it like that. I mean, hence, if the election went a different fucking way,
Crazy shit,
I'll
man.
just say on that one. But you know what I mean.
Oh, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's just crazy, man. I would love to actually, this is one that if I could get into the actual files, I would love to see it.
I mean, shit. He was just ahead of the curve. He's just trying to, prevent that. What's your fucking pronouns?
Well, yeah,
I
we
mean,
could
in
definitely,
some aspects, he was trying to make his country better, and that was obvious, and
yeah.
like trying to make things better for his people. But some of the shit was shady. So
Yeah, some of the shit was shady, especially his I remember reading about his trying to take over Chad and shit. And he was just going into towns, and if you moved, you were shot. That's all that happened to you. You fucking got shot right then and there.
damn.
Yeah. Some real Viking energy, you know what I mean?
Pretty much. I mean, shit. But they didn't even wait for you to move. They just fucking killed, pillaged, and raped.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they had a lot of, pent up frustration. They come from colder places.
Yeah.
You get that sun on you and you get a little loose, a little
Right? I
rascally.
mean, they were probably sick and tired of their wife pulling the fucking hide off of them at night. So,
Okay, I think we've defended the Vikings' actions enough on this show. Oh, I love it. I love it, Viking.
I don't know.
And
Maybe the women snort too fucking loud.
that's a possibility. You know, you won't have a second black eye if you learn how to make that sandwich right the first time. But Viking,
Kool-Aid
we're
is
on to
fucking
you.
awesome.
All I can
Fans,
think was that I don't think she listens too well.
fans.
That fucking clip, bro. Oh god, that's all I can think of right now. God, I love that clip. I don't think she listens too well. Anyways,
No, you guys have to understand we are purely joking. Our own behind the scenes person, our third person on the show is a female. She understands. These are just jokes, guys. She's
my
even
wife
running the
makes these jokes
soundboard
too.
adding to the jokes.
Yeah, she makes these fucking jokes just as bad as I do sometimes. I'm like, damn, because
She
I've
makes
heard
them
her more than
pop.
once. I've heard her more than once. We've seen somebody with a bruise. I don't think she listens too well.
See? So don't come at us. Or come
Yeah.
at us. We enjoy it because you're watching anyways. We're getting that view.
Listen,
So
if you don't like the dark humor, go some fucking where else.
yeah, there's probably somewhere else you could go, but don't.
Yeah.
Stay here. Stay with us and see what we go into next. Viking, I'm excited about yours, man. This is right up my alley. I love this topic. Why don't you
So
get the fans ready?
mine is going to be kind of all over the place because there's so much backstory to what actually caused this assassination. I mean, it goes from inbreeding to secret societies like an Illuminati and such, or a little bit of Illuminati mixed with, I guess, Black Panther, you could say, or whatever the fuck they call
Ooh,
themselves, because they're very, but more cutthroat. Of they'll actually fucking kill you, society.
I like it.
You can't hear me? Why can't you hear me?
I can hear you.
It says she can't hear me.
There is something on your internet connection.
I can see that. I can see the Wi-Fi thing hasn't updated basically. But the thing is, on the laptop it's fine, but on the web page it's down.
Okay, I'm listening to the feed. You're coming through fine, so just keep talking.
Okay. Okay. So, like I was saying, mine is very, very all over the place because it created one of the biggest events to happen in the world, specifically World War One. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's Franz Ferdinand, not the band, but the I have to get this right. I believe he's an archduke,
Yeah.
right, of Austria.
Yeah, you're correct on that. Archduke Franz
Yeah,
Ferdinand.
yeah. I had to re-jog my memory on that. It's been a
No,
minute
it's
since I've actually done
yeah,
anything
I'll
with Franz Ferdinand.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's been literally probably early 2000s ish, somewhere there, like school. Like last time I was anything about Franz Ferdinand, because the wild thing is this he's forgotten so much
Oh yeah.
actually, and the thing is I'm gonna say this, like 9% of today's society is literally because of his death. That's the fucked up thing if you think about it, because World War One made so much other things happen. Like if there was a moment in time that should have been maybe changed, it was his assassination. Like if you had a time machine, like you'd want to see how does his death not happening actually change the fucking world. Like I'd like to see that. Like you know how you have the ability to do that. Like that'd be one of them. And
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
it's a wild ride. Um, yeah, because I know you were very interested in this one. But yeah, Franz Ferdinand was the Archduke of Austria-Hungary. He was assassinated on June 28th, 1914, in, I think I'm saying this right, Sarajevo, Bosnia. I think it's Sarajevo. Is it Sarah Jevo? And I think Sarajevo. That's
Yeah,
like I'm
that
thinking it's
sounds right.
pronounced. Yeah. There's Archduke of Austria-Hungary because I'm confused on that, but are they like a joint country?
I believe at one time they were.
Kind of like what's that? The Czech Republic thing?
Yeah, but I think they had their independence from each other
Yeah, I believe
after
so.
World War One, possibly.
Gotcha.
I
Um,
think. Don't quote me on that, fans.
yeah, I know. Yeah, none of I'm saying. Don't quote me on any of this. I'm not 100% on everything with Franz Ferdinand because it's the information is everywhere with this topic. It really is. There's a lot of shit that kept popping up that I kept looking into and I kept getting distracted. I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta go back to what I was doing because there was so much that led up to that I was interested in.
Some
Uh,
would say that's a normal thing for us, Viking. I wouldn't say that, but some people would.
Yeah, I kept getting interested by his death, like from other things because of the
Oh,
other
it's so
groups
wild.
involved. It is because there's so many groups involved with his assassination too, like behind the scenes Illuminati type shit, like puppet masters. Like there's a lot of shit that time that nobody really knew about. But if you deep dive into it, there's some interesting rabbit hole shit.
Well, there was a lot of people who wanted his death to happen because, well,
Yeah,
you'll get into it.
yeah. Um, yeah, he was assassinated by I have no clue how to say his name. Gavrilo Princip, a Bosnian Serb nationalist, while visiting Sarajevo. Are you trying to see if you can hear me on Twitch? Okay, I'm just double checking over there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got you up on YouTube. You're coming in perfect.
good. The assassination led to a series of diplomatic crises and military mobilizations that eventually led to the outbreak of World War One, as we all know. And again, like I said, it's never really talked about who started World War One. There was just all the groups involved, and they're like, "Hey, let's have a war." Is that what everybody assumes happened? Because as I remember back in the day, we didn't really deep dive World War One. It was World War Two mostly.
Yeah. World War
Um,
One usually gets overlooked, except this exact topic.
yeah, yeah. Um, he was a culmination. The assassination of him was a complex culmination of historical events and tensions. A lot of has happened. Nationalism and imperialism. The Balkans were a region of intense nationalist sentiment, with various ethnic groups seeking independence from the Austro-Hungarian Empire. That was one of the factors. The Bosnian Serb nationalism, aka the Black Hand, a secret society of Bosnian Serb nationalists, sought to unite Bosnia and her Herz, Herzegovina with Serbia. But like, and again, that's where I got distracted. So these names, I don't know how to say them, and I'm like, what the fuck is this reference to? Because
Yeah.
it's something along the line. As I said, there is a timeline of Franz Ferdinand's like up to his assassination. It is everywhere. Uh, yeah, Austria-Hungary's expansion with the Balkans had created tensions with Serbia and other national or regional powers. The plot was the Black Hand planned and executed the assassination with Gabriel Princip shooting Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie in Sarajevo. The event sparked a chain reaction, issued an ultimatum. Austrian-Hungary made an ultimatum to Serbia, which Serbia refused to comply with. And then there was war declarations. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, followed by declarations of war by Germany on Russia and France, and by Britain on Germany. Hence World War One, and that's how it all sparked. But yeah, there's that. There's also multiple other things. I read down. So just to let you know, the whole royal family is inbred.
Yeah,
Like
they are.
people don't know this. They're all like, "Oh, the royal family is so great." Yeah, they all fuck each other. Just to let you know. That goes back to like the 1800s, 17. So that's the thing. It's been speculated that inbreeding is actually what caused World War One. Which there's been also multiple YouTube videos of this that I watched that were jokes about it, but very well done. And it's never really like acknowledged as what actually caused it. Just to let you know, it's never really acknowledged that inbreeding caused World War One because they try to brush off that the royal family's inbred.
Yeah.
So it's never really like acknowledged that it happened. And I noticed that in a lot of things. I was like, oh, so they're basically just trying to forget that they're inbred. That's what they try to make people do, and so they don't really acknowledge it as like a key reason.
Yeah.
From what and then every time I try to look up something about it, I couldn't really find a lot unless I was looking in the wrong areas. So I'm not going to really go into that one, but it is a speculation of his death somehow. I don't know how, but everything you look up, it's yeah, it's a little weird. It doesn't make a
Yeah.
lot of sense to me, so I kind of just went away from it.
They
You're gonna say,
he the royals, and it doesn't matter which royal family you want to look into, is just full of weirdos and people who they believe that they need to keep their bloodline pure with their blood, which goes into your Illuminati discussion on this, because there was a lot of Illuminatis that were like going against that, because from my understanding, keeping the bloodline pure in their eyes is a form of keeping tradition from the start. For so whoever started the royalty and however they got it, in which some people think it's a lot of selling your soul and shit like that, which whatever it may be, but to keep that
Yeah,
lineage, they don't want any outsiders coming in and tainting that blood.
it's a real
Much
Game of
like the
Thrones shit.
yeah, much like the McPoyles on Always Sunny in Game of Thrones. McPoyles rule.
I've never watched It's Always Sunny. I've always heard about what they're like 16 seasons now or some shit. I always want to
Yeah,
watch that show.
dude, you should.
Anyways, um, yeah, the and all the events I'm going to talk about the events leading up to the assassination and World War One are complex and multi. I can't say the word, but I've heard it before. Multifaceted, I think.
Yeah, I think you said it pretty well.
Yeah, I think that's the word. How to say it. But yeah, here are some of the key points. The Balkans, the region was a hotbed of nationalist sentiment, various ethnic groups seeking independence from the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Yeah, the Balkans were very much trying to get their own independence. They wanted to be their own country, I guess, nation, and they wanted to be their own, and they didn't have that. They were always wrapped into it. Like a lot of other races are and such, of subgroups of their race, and they didn't want that. They wanted to be independent. There was a lot of alliances, the complex system of alliances between European powers, including the Triple Entente and Entente, France, Russia, and Britain, and they had the central powers of Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. And that all created a very volatile like situation. And they just, yeah, they tried all the alliances, but basically trying to please everybody, make sure they're happy, and that wasn't working out between them. Really was not. Uh, the militarism, the build of military forces, and the glorification of war contributed to an atmosphere of tension and aggression. And yeah, that was another thing. There was a lot of different buildups of wars at the time because, again, the World War was talked about so much like it is now, and they were building up a lot of military forces everywhere, making everybody on edge because you hear a lot of hearsay back then. And of course, it's World War One. You didn't have early 1900s, late 1800s. You had a lot of different things being said to each other, and information passed along. So it wasn't very much, like we have now, digital age where you can see everything just from a laptop. It was a lot of, pen writing. Maybe pictures were taken back then, but cameras
Mm,
were very large back then, and small spy type cameras weren't really well known. So, yeah, a lot of build up military. There was a lot of different forces and factions being built. So that was a big thing too.
that's
Uh,
wild.
yeah, imperialism, competition for colonies and resources in Africa and Asia added to the tensions between European powers. And that's something I never really touched on, but yeah, I guess so. The imperialism is something I really think of this whole subject, but yeah, I guess back then they were trying to be more imperialistic, and so yeah, that definitely was a
Mm,
thing. Africa and Asia, I don't really think of them when I think of World War One. World War Two, I know, but not one
yeah.
isn't really thought of for me. Yeah, that's something that really threw me off. I'm like, huh, Asia and Africa is not what I really thought of because we of course were at war in World War Two in Africa, so we were there, and then we had Asia, of course. That's was our main enemy, so to say. So yeah, that really threw me off. I didn't understand that one.
Yeah, that's one.
Uh,
That one, I'm there with you on that one. That's
yeah,
really weird.
right. In World War II, it makes sense, but I guess I'm guessing that's how they got involved in World War II then in Africa. But that was more of the uh, that's a different war. But yeah, All these factors create a very volatile situation, and to a single event, the assassination of Franz Ferdinand, and that is what triggered a much larger conflict, as in World War One happened. There are some key players in the events leading up to the war. Kaiser Wilhelm II of Germany. He was very aggressive. He had a very aggressive foreign policy, and he wanted colonial expansion, and so that really contributed to a lot of tensions with other European powers at the time. So kind of, Nazis. That's pretty much what it was. And their whole trying to be, ruler of everybody, Rome pretty much back in the day. I'll say it all day.
Yeah.
Nazis were just trying to be Rome 2.0. That's all
Yeah.
they.
Yeah. And instead of walking around with biblical figures, they were searching for all the artifacts that they were left behind.
Yeah, so we can smuggle them down to Chile and, have them sit in the cave, and that's where we'll keep all our gold. And somehow Chile will just become one of the best thriving environments all of a sudden for no reason.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
why are you speaking German, huh?
It's a good
That's
question.
weird. Why is that dark skinned South American over there speaking German all of a sudden? What?
They must have found a book,
Yeah, weird.
taught themselves.
But they have blonde hair and blue eyes. This is weird.
Well, and the same thing happened over in Argentina too. So
Yep.
it's like, wait, what's happening here?
Yeah. God, I'd love to talk to Tim Kennedy one day.
Yeah, that would be
One
fun.
day. Oh God, the dude's an absolute fucking freak, and I've always loved him. So I'm a huge fan of Tim Kennedy. I think he's hilarious, and he got fucked over in UFC. Anyways, I still hate what the fuck happened to him. It pisses me off so much because he was so fucking good. He could have been a champion.
Hey, things happen, you know.
Yep. Anyways, Tsar Nicholas II of Russia, his government mobilized very quickly in response to Austria-Hungary, and they declared war on Serbia to help. That helped escalate the whole entire conflict. And there's Emperor Franz Joseph of Austria-Hungary. His government's ultimatum to Serbia and subsequent declaration of war helped to trigger the wider conflict. And yeah, he kind of seemed to want war, from what I can tell. And he was just like, he basically was trying to do the fuck around, find out, and that's what happened. Yeah. The war itself was marked by certain things. The trench warfare, it became very well known on the Western Front. That's how trench warfare was actually started, more or less. Because Civil War, we had it, and then we had World War One, where trench warfare became a much larger thing. It really did.
Yeah. It became necessary.
It did, because the cannons, fire snipers, you had to sneak around, and because of the environments they were in, they had to use what they could. And trench warfare is the only way to survive. If you didn't have that cover, you were dead. Not like they could just go out there and build a building and be like, "Oh, we're safe." Nope, they had to stack sandbags and dirt and dig a hole.
And
It
hope
was
you
very
didn't
much
get
what we know
fucking
today.
bombed.
Yeah, exactly. That
Hope no
grenade, yes, I
mortars
found
come
the
over
fucking
here.
open. Like, what are you gonna do? Be out of the open underneath a rock? Like the fuck? Yep. Let's put this whole
Yeah.
platoon and like this whole unit over here behind some rocks. We'll be safe.
Yeah, dude. You know, before we go any further into this, I just downloaded Call of Duty World War II last night, and I was
Dude,
playing it.
I bought it like a couple weeks ago and it was on sale, or like a couple months ago, so I
So
could
good.
replay it. Because
So
it's
good.
yeah, that's why I got it. Because I'm like, man, World at War is still my favorite.
Yeah,
It'll always be
dude,
my favorite. And
so
World War
good.
II came out, and I'm like, dude, this game is too fucking good.
I do, man.
Oh,
I
I
fucking
love World War
love
II.
it. The team
Dude.
death matches in it have been so fun, and just
Oh,
the imagery, and I mean, because you get to a point where it seems like all men get to an age where they're just like fascinated with World War II, and we research it and we look into it and we watch all the fucking things you can about it. But that shit was nuts, and to think that World War I was the catalyst for the what they described at the time as the new warfare, and it was just
Mhm.
trench warfare, one of the basic warfares that you could have.
And that's why I said that, because yeah, trench warfare was huge in World War One. It was the
Yeah,
advancement, but it was literally just digging, a walkway in the dirt that's 6 feet deep, and that's what it was.
yeah, that's all it was.
And then World War II, we have way more advances in technology and weaponry and such. And then, scopes became a thing.
Yeah,
Snipers, like that was huge. We had scopes in 1900s, but you had certain like rolling block rifles and such, which they were just muzzle loaders. They sucked, so snipers
yeah,
hated them, and
yeah.
they used
And you
other guns,
in the advance, you like, yeah, you can advance in a scope and shit like that, but if you haven't advanced in the firepower
weaponry.
of the projectile, what the fuck's the scope gonna do? You know?
And that's why we have the Mosin Nagant
Yeah,
and the Card 98K and so, the SBT 90 or whatever it is. I can't remember the exact number. But all those rifles, there's a reason why they came along, because they need to be advanced in weaponry. It's the reason why the Mosin was invented, or and also the M1 Garand or Garand, however you want to say it. It's pronounced a certain way, but I can't remember how.
it's crazy. It's crazy to think about, man.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of those things exist to this day because of that. Because
Mhm.
they hated reloading. They were basically muzzle loaders back then. It was black gunpowder, and that's what it was. It was a big poof of smoke.
Reloading's for the birds.
No, you just get a punt gun for that. You ever seen those?
Just- no, but I like what you're saying.
Yeah,
If it's in my head and it's going forward, I
punt
like
guns
it.
were used back then in like the early 30s and such. It was used for a long time. It's for to get a bunch of basically a flock of geese pretty much at once.
I like it. I like
Yep.
it. I
It
hate
was a it
geese.
was a big, basically you had to load it like a kind of like a crossbow, because you had to pull back on a string and to load it, the breech charge kind of. And yeah, it's packed full of gunpowder and projectiles, and yeah.
Dude, the advancement in guns, if you this would be a fun episode to do, because like back in the day they had things that could shoot 16 bullets at once, but it was like a fucked up thing that pretty much killed the inventor of it.
Oh, do you mean like
And
a blunderbuss kind of?
yeah, like they back in the Wild Wild West era, all that
Yeah,
shit, when
they
they
had
were
some weird
coming up
shit.
with all these, basically when we were figuring out how we could use metal
I mean, the
and
Gatling
guns.
gun.
Yeah, exactly. Like the ideas of where these guns came from, because somebody had to be somewhere, and like, how can I get this many bullets to come out at
Dude,
once?
Winchester, Remington, Smith and Wesson, like
Yeah,
Colt, like
dude,
how they came up with shit. Yeah, oh yeah, it's
that's
interesting
just
to learn about it.
nuts.
It
Yeah,
is. There's a whole entire rabbit hole of their stuff, like to learn about it, how they came up with it and stuff, and all the
yeah,
mishaps too. I mean,
yeah. I think that would be a fun episode.
oh god, that'd be an interesting one to do. I don't know how
Yeah,
to make that. Well, this is
we don't
really
have to.
deviated from conspiracies. We just kind of do what we want to talk about if it's a cool
Yeah,
subject. So,
exactly.
oh
So
fuck yeah, I'd be down for a guns episode like that. Hell yeah.
yeah, we'll talk about that
Oh yeah.
uh, in the future
Where
episodes.
was I with this?
We just got out of the trench warfare and we went
Yeah.
into
But yeah, there
the
was a lot of new technologies. The
yeah.
introduction of new technologies such as tanks, airplanes, and poison gas changed the nature of warfare. That's why we have the Geneva Convention. And then,
It's just a
there was a
pussy
big,
contract.
yeah, yeah. Actually, I mean, shit. If you remember, they tried to make the trench shotgun against the Geneva Convention because Germans were sick of being killed
See,
by
that's
it.
what I'm talking about. War is war. We don't
Shit,
need
you
no
get a
good
Marine
guys.
out there with a fucking box full of shotguns, throw him in that trench, he'll come back.
Let him go to town. Let him have some fun.
He'll have a bunch of German crosses when he comes back. That happens all the fucking time, just to
Yeah.
let you know.
Well, yeah, because they got all fucking pussy about it. Ooh, they're not playing warfare.
Nah, man, you had some boy from Kansas, from a farm field, 18 years old, threw him a trench shotgun and a box full of ammo, and they're like, "Go to town," because he's getting itchy out there.
He's like, this is hog season for me. What are you talking about?
Oh shit! There's some shit I want to get into. God, there's some fucking things I'd like to talk about with military people. Some dope ass shit I'd love to do an episode on. If you haven't seen him, you should really watch him. He's from Iowa. He's actually a part of the group I was talking about earlier, the Guadalupe River flooding and stuff. He's a part of that group of Don't Operator and Brandon Herrera and Matt Carricker. His name is the Fat Electrician. And
Mhm.
if you ever, please watch him on YouTube. He's from Iowa. He has one of the, he's the only dude I bought merch from as a YouTuber. And he has the Temper Big Whiskey shirt, which is the USS Wisconsin and that event. But he he does the Fat Files also, where he does his military content where he dives in on all these guys from military, like the original Rambo, a bunch of other people, like during the Dirty Bastard. What are they called? Dirty Bastards? What are they were?
Inglorious Bastards.
No. The Old Bastards. That's what they were called. The Old Bastards in World War II, and there was the group of old guys that got thrown together and were meant to train. They were the fuck ups, and they're like, go, yeah. They kind of inspired Glorious Bastards, I think. I'm pretty sure they did. But this is more on the islands and whatnot. So
Gotcha.
yeah, wasn't in country in Europe and battling there. Anyways, you should really look at. You would like him, the Fat Electrician, Nick. You would like his stuff on this. You would really like it because there's some shit like that, like certain characters that did some cool ass shit. Like, did you know? Here, really quick, I know this is off subject. Did you know that Japan tried to invade through Alaska into America?
Yes, I did know that.
Yeah, and their plan was to walk all the way through Canada.
Yes, I did know. Yeah.
They would have made 5 feet inside of fucking Canada back then, by the way, because everybody had guns at the time. And Canada was all about fuck around, find out back in the day.
Those silly guys.
Oh, yeah. Like the 1930s Canadians were fucking wild, bro.
Oh, yeah.
God, they were wild. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's one subject he actually, I believe, covers. But
Oh, the Alaskan frontier is an amazing story. Just everything that it took to get Alaska, and for us to actually get with Canada and be like, you know what, we should probably defend this whole area, even though we're all different. Let's defend all of this land.
yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was a goal involvement. I tried asking AI that I could about the Franz Ferdinand being inbred, and it told, because I just did Franz Ferdinand inbred, and here's what it said: Archduke Franz Ferdinand's family history does involve some complex relationships and marriages within royal families. However, I'd like to clarify that you're likely referring to the fact that Franz Ferdinand's marriage to Sophie Chotek was considered a morganatic marriage, which I don't know what the fuck that word means, but it's clearly someone with royal rank and marriage and such.
Huh?
It means meaning she was not of equal royal rank. So basically, a princess or prince trying to marry, I don't know, fucking some lower class royalty. I don't know how the royalty shit. I can tell you more about military than I can royalty. So,
That's
but that's
crazy.
all it gave me. So, and then it's like, this marriage had implications for their children's titles and succession rights. Would you like to know more about Franz Ferdinand's family or the implications of organic marriages and royal families? Again, I'm going with AI because I don't understand these fucking terms.
Mm-hmm.
But his marriage to Sophie was considered a morganatic marriage because Sophie was not of equal royal rank. This meant that unequal marriage, Sophie was a countess, but not of a royal family, which made the marriage unequal in the eyes of the royal courts. And then her children's titles, their children would not inherit the Archduke's titles or succession rights. Because even though they're of his blood, she wasn't of the equal rank, so basically they're like, no. So that's a little weird, but that's
That
the way it was back then. But
yeah, that's very bizarre, man. I don't know how to
it is.
feel about that
I
one.
don't. I'm just like that's kind of I don't know retarded. Like the fuck. Like you just because they're not of same royal blood, like their
Yeah.
children should maybe probably get some kind of rank. Like you would think. I don't know. Archduke of retards. I don't know.
Dude, I like that one, man. That one makes me giggle. That one makes me giggle. I like that. That's a good one. I might make that a shirt.
I want
I
some compensation for this.
Yeah, you'll get 50 cents every shirt.
What the
I don't
fuck?
sell, look, I don't sell much of the voice merchandise. No one goes out and buys it. I've bought my own a few times. But you know how it is. We got to make some money first.
Listen,
And
I
then
didn't even know you had any merch.
oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
had
I got
to.
I got 3/4 baseball shirts, regular t-shirts, hoodies, I think some hats. I'm not sure if those are still on there.
Wait, do you have this like linked to like any of your pages like Twitch, YouTube?
I used to when
I was
we
gonna
were
say
going
'cause
through
you say you have this,
streamlabs.
but I'm guessing it's probably on your Facebook otherwise.
Uh,
You're not even
yeah,
sure if it's there.
I was trying to remember which one we went through. Uh, T Public, I believe. Anyways, yeah. We this specific subject that you're covering, uh, I'm I'm more interested in like how they how this really pushed forward all the wars that came after it, because without World War One, and like we hit on with the trench warfare, do we do we evolve in the gunfire? Do we evolve in the bombings and things like that? Because after World War One, they really had to sit back and think, if we're going into another, if this ever happens again, so many countries were put at a disadvantage because of little things. Because I mean, honestly, World War One's not the big one. It's
No, it's
really
not. I was getting back to that what you're mentioning eventually.
okay. Okay, sorry.
It's touching the Black Hand subject next
Oh, okay.
because I did just look them up because I don't know anything about the Black Hand, and it's not always mentioned that they're a part of the assassination sometimes because I think they're trying to be scrubbed from like evidence of them sometimes. But
Okay.
the Black Hand was also, and I'm gonna butcher the fuck out of all this because I don't know what this means, but the Black Hand was also known as Cerna, Ruka, or yeah, I'm not even gonna even try to announce that. But basically, it meant union or death. And they were a secret society of Bosnian Serb nationalists that played a central role in the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Well, because they killed him. But some facts: they were nationalist. Their nationalist goals was they sought to unite Bosnia and Herzegovina with Serbia and create a greater Serbia. They were basically trying to do the Hitler thing, and yeah, they were trying to rule over shit, and they just wanted power. They're trying to be dictators, pretty much, and kind of rule the backgrounds. They were very they were known to be secretive in their nature a lot, and they used violence to achieve all their goals. 90% of their goals. They were very much a listen to me, don't ask questions, and I'm not going to repeat myself or you get shot. They were
Damn.
very much like your guy was look at if you even move, you got shot. Like they were that kind of people. They were vicious. Yeah, from what I can tell, a lot of their shit they were very. very vicious and brutal.
Damn.
Yeah, they plan to uh they planned and executed assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, with Gabriel Princip being the assassin. They had a network of members and operatives with Danilo Lick Lilik. There's too many weird letters, but he was a key figure in the assassination plot. And oh, I thought I had that on him. I meant to go into him next, but I did not look up that part. And I thought I had it lined up, but I don't even know how to say his name.
You don't know how to say the guy's name?
It's spelt really, really odd because it's like a capital I, lowercase I, and then a weird C. So that's what I meant to actually go in. Yeah, it's like I said, a weird name. I actually wanted information on him like next. That's what I was meaning to go into. His full name is actually Danilo Luis da Silva.
Okay.
No, that's fucking not him. Thanks. That's not what I meant.
Viking's about to start raging here in a second.
Fucking hey, that's not what I meant. That's a fucking footballer. No, fucking retard. It just wants to tell me. And the thing is, I look up at AI because I'm like, I don't know how to say his fucking name, and I look up wrong on Google. It's gonna give me some other guy, which it's I just got. He was involved in assassination. Yeah, Sir. He was a Bosnian Serb who played a key role. Part of the Black Hand Secret Society. They sought to unite Bosnia and Herzegovina with Serbia. He was arrested, tried, and executed for his role. He was a scapegoat, pretty much. That's what he
Okay.
was, as from what I can tell. And yeah, Black Hand shit. Yep, that's pretty much them. What else did I have lined up? Ah, it asked me if I want to know more of the Black Hands events and the world events or history and impact. Uh, hmm. They're rooted in a desire for national unity and independence for South Slavs, particularly Bosnian Serbs. I don't know if those are abbreviated for. Well, Serbs is Serbia, but I don't know, Slavs. That was their motivations pretty much. And then their methods were often violent and secretive, using tactics like assassination and sabotage to achieve their goals. I believe they did bombings as well, or attempted bombings. I know that they were into a lot of different conspiracies of they may have possibly done it. They have been known to take credit sometimes, so it was really unsure of what they all were involved in sometimes. They were very much all over the place. Their legacy is supposedly still going on and debated among historians and scholars. Some view them as national heroes, some as terrorists, of course, and that's what they were. Again, this is in their they to the country they were the rebel force and secret basically, but they weren't. They were terrorists. They were very much terrorists. Oh, I did ask how did it influence the future wars. New technology, of course, that was the big thing. We did see the introduction of tanks, planes, gas, and again that led to the Geneva Convention. Trench warfare became a huge thing in future wars, and more, and it did evolve. Of course, certain tactics, how to set up a trench warfare and whatnot, and you know, tactical positions or strategic positioning is how it was, and that did have a lot more independent outreach over time. And then there was a stalemate of trench warfare, which led to new tactics and strategies such as blitzkrieg and combined arms. And yeah, the blitzkrieg did become a big thing. World War I's total war approach was involving civilians and industry set it predestined for future conflicts, and there was a lot of rising world powers. The war marked the decline of European empires and the rise of new world powers like the U.S. And you got to remember at the time that did really skyrocket us into more things, especially the Great Depression. They put all their eggs in one basket at the war and was like, oh, we'll benefit off of this and somehow. And then we have today's society. And you know how that's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why we're in debt so fucking much.
Yeah.
Like, just to let, anybody listen to me babbling. Again, World War One sparked off more shit than you can think of. Like, literally, America's debt can probably be traced back to World War One. If you looked it up properly, you could probably find everything that's happening today is influenced somehow because of something that happened all the way back then.
I could see
That's
that.
weird. And then you had, of course, World War II happen. And we had more stuff going on. And then Cold War, and then we have the modern warfare, of course. And again, over time, more wars sparked more technology, as you asked. World War II sparked the invention of machine guns, more or less. We have I can't remember the original gun that inspired the AK. Pretty sure it's in the World War II game that we are just talking about. The Stetsnov or whatever it is, or can't remember. It's like the original AK before AK was a thing. It looks like an MP5 kind of.
Okay.
But that's the big one. Kalashnikov, of course. You know, did a lot of things. Colt became a company. Smith and Wesson. A lot of these gun companies became famous because of World War II. Colt, of course, did. I can't remember the other ones. I'm trying to think of all the German guns, but there's like 300 of them. I can't remember the names of them. No, it wasn't Winchester. Remington is actually the ones that had the shotguns. Well, Winchester did as well. Yeah. The trench shotgun did become famous because of them. The pump action pretty much became more influential in times. And yeah, when that became part of World War II specifically, again, they were killing a lot of Germans very fast with the shotgun, and they tried to put it in Geneva Convention to not use the shotguns. That's just why the trench shotgun is so feared, except for so loved because of the slam fire on it. I'm gonna stop there with that one because we'll probably do that in a gun episode.
Yeah.
But because I do love the trench shotgun and what it can do. Yeah, planes specifically too. World War II. We've seen bombers, we've seen tanks come out, we've seen different kinds of tanks come and go. There was a lot of that. There was different ways to stop a tank got developed, as in anti-tank rifles, uh, RPGs became a thing. Or what were they called? Not RPGs. They were called I think it's just anti-tank rockets,
Probably.
something like that. I can't remember specifically. There was a lot of different influentials, as you asked. Sniper rifles became a thing more and more. Definitely. World War One had so much open ground, but they didn't have great rifles to be a sniper with and properly take out the enemy. It was a lot more up close battles, and so weaponry really changed over time.
It was a
I don't know what else
necessity.
to dwell on that one.
No, it was a necessity for it to evolve.
It really was, because without it, we wouldn't have gotten anywhere, or nobody would have.
Very true.
Look at I'll give for instance the conversion mags they had for grease guns, PPSH, different kinds of mags that were invented by the Germans, so they could basically run their ammo through like a PPSH and would convert it. It was on their magazines. They had these little things that would convert them to be able to be used by like a PPSH, or the ammo that was in a PPSH from a Russian could be used on a an MP44 from a German, their mags. And that was a thing that I found out a couple years ago, actually. Like more recently, I didn't know about it. I thought it was pretty cool. They had to do a lot of medications. I
Yeah.
mean, shit, but you can go all the way to fucking look at today's war with Ukraine. They're using old shit. Like, look at them. They're converting some of the oldest weaponry used all the way back to World War One, World War Two.
Hmm. Well, Moscow's about to see some of the new weaponry we use.
Yeah.
So get prepared, Moscow.
Nuclear weaponry evolved as well. We
Well,
didn't drop two bombs for a reason in World War Two, so
yeah, yeah, they definitely went ultimate technology at that moment.
they did.
Fuck 'em. Here you go.
Want to see the sun? Want to see it again?
Yeah. Let's see what happens when we do this. Yeah, that's nuts. I did find
Yeah.
that website for you there, Brainbusters Tees. Go to there and then look up the In Your House, and house is spelt with a W, and you will find the Joshua Joseph merch.
That I was wondering what it was. I think
Yeah.
you probably mentioned to me before.
Oh, I've probably mentioned it, but who knows? I say it all the time at one point, and then I just quit saying it. All those fun things. Yeah, we got
All right.
we got a bunch of stuff there.
Oh yeah, you're yeah. I like how your name was the first one that popped up above Jones and Annie. Like four different things of yours, like your sticker, and yeah.
Yeah, I got the 3/4 sleeve. I bought that one. I like it. I've always been a sucker for a 3/4 sleeve, though.
I see that one. I do like it.
Yeah, but man, there's so much goddamn information with the
There is,
friggin' Ferdinand.
there is, and I keep trying to find. Like I said, I kept finding off branches of it, and I'm like, okay, I gotta keep going back to what I was trying to do. I totally lost track of what I actually had to do. I should have
Well, I
written
mean,
it more, but I was like, okay, I'll just have the tabs ready to go, and yeah.
and it's crazy too because this was the one of the first things heard around the world. Like
Mhm.
this was what kicked off, well, the First World War, which
And then his
sparked
death,
this.
not very interesting, but his death isn't very interesting. It's not.
No,
It's what happened is very interesting. But yeah,
yeah,
basically his government was like, no, we're gonna kill this guy because their government did kill him.
well, sometimes you got to do things.
It was literally we don't like you and we don't like what you're doing.
Isn't that crazy? That's just a viable option for these people.
It is, and I don't know. I guess that's how it works with politics. I don't know.
Well, it's still
I
going on today. That was
It
one of the
is.
first things we talked about.
Yep, it is. It is very much is still going today that political assassination is still a thing.
Hmm. And it's getting glorified, which is even more terrifying.
You know
I
what doesn't
mean,
help in the aspect of that is I know it. Do you consider what's his name, Luigi? Uh, I mean that is that a political assassination?
yeah. I mean, he was doing it was a political statement
Mm-hmm.
that he was doing, where he was trying to change the course of something that affected an entire country. I mean, the this is to me this is the whole cosplay world because all these young people are coming out and wanting to be, I want to go to a convention and be this guy, and that's my reality. And then you have Luigi running out there and doing something. Here's my question to all the supporters of his. What has it changed? There hasn't been any significant changes. So what are you doing? You just took another person's life. You took him away from his family because you're upset with how this is done or how that's done. Well, that's killing somebody in that fashion is not a way to get any type of result besides more gun control, more restrictions on people, um, more reasons for them to have these meetings at secret locations, which induces more conspiracies in the conspiracy world. It does no good. I mean, and plus his
Weird
story.
shit. Just don't do weird shit, and you wouldn't have conspiracy.
Well,
I'm just
that is
saying, stop doing
that's a
weird
good
fucking
point.
shit, and you wouldn't be, scrutinized all the time.
I mean, you're not making wrong points. Uh, but the idea of a transparent entity that involves around any type of control, any type of power is almost impossible. It doesn't exist because for some reason everybody thinks they have to be secret in which when they do things, which I don't understand. I mean, just if you come out and tell people this is what I'm doing, I mean, look at, you can equate that to Trump's presidency. He came out and told people what he's going to do, and he's doing those things. It may not be at the rate that we all thought it was going to happen, but I mean, just this past week, the people who didn't self-deport, um, our government started sending out collection letters, and they're going to start charging everybody who they can get mail to $1.8 million for staying in this country and not self-deporting. And upon them receiving that letter, I believe it was marked for 20 days after that letter. And it's like a collection. It's a collection letter. It's got where you
So
can start mailing.
wait. You're telling me Trump wants to tax illegals for living here?
Mhm.
Good.
At the tune of $1.8 million per person.
Per part.
Yes, per person. Hey, what? Here's the thing, though. His administration told them uh, almost a couple weeks after he took over, self-deport now, because the consequences in 90 days is going to be something you're not going to like. And this is
I
the
mean,
consequences of that.
if you thought I was lying, look at the people that were saying that they're illegal somewhere, and they got arrested the same fucking week.
Well, look at the representative that went on the floor and admitted that she was illegal, but she was elected into our government.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There, are,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
she fucking
insane.
was.
That's insane.
And still wants to keep living here mm,
Yeah.
like she's
So,
entitled.
and I believe in immigration the legal way.
Oh yeah.
I come from a town where a lot of the kids I went to school with, their parents went through it and they went and did all that. They did it the legal way, and they're upset with how things are going nowadays. And it's not just Hispanics. It's when they were doing reports through the whole entire Biden administration, it was Egyptians, it was people that Asians, it was like it was an entire world that was coming through the southern border. And I think a lot of people get caught up in the I looked at a map one day, so I know what comes out of this border because it says on the map what that name is. And that's not the reality of it. And then with the flood over our southern borders of narcotics that are coming through, and all the people up there can go, oh, that's not happening, buddy. Yeah, it is happening, buddy. So until you guys get a wraps on that, we're basically getting. I mean, I know our border on the southern hemisphere or southern part of our country is closed off right now, but you still got the drugs coming in here, and people are still trying to come up through here. It it's just a combination of a big shitstorm, if I can quote Jim Leahy. Like the
It is,
shit hawks are out. It's crazy, man.
it is.
But
Because as you said, I'm all for the legal way. Like, go ahead. Sure, I don't have a problem being here. I don't. Make my country economy better some fucking how. I don't know.
yeah,
Don't be a piece of shit though.
yeah, it's
That's what I'm
mind
saying.
blowing.
Don't be a fucking piece of shit.
Like I legit get like hurt in my soul when I see an American flag burning, and then people yelling about how they don't want to be taken away from here. Like, well, then don't do
And
that.
then you're
That'd be,
waving your country that you don't want to go back to. You're waving that flag around.
I used to think that that was like a big thing. That used to be like a big no no. Like you would never do that.
You
But
know, about 20 years ago, I mean, shit, everybody in the block would beat the fuck out of you for burning a flag.
yeah, but now it's like they
Nowadays,
try to.
a neighbor will come over and burn it with you.
Yeah, you,
The
you'll
fuck?
get be you'll be celebrated for burning an American flag, but you can spend years in a jail cell for burning
Oh,
a multicolored flag.
yeah, yeah. And
That,
then I
that
loved
makes
how
no
multiple
sense.
places like, yeah, just recently last week, it was like 2 weeks ago, I seen that yeah, they will not allow any of that shit on their roads because people's safety is important, not your fucking beliefs.
Yeah,
And I
it's
agree with
just
that.
crazy. I
I don't
mean,
need your rainbow fucking road covering up road signs that are painted on the road that people need to see so they know where to stop, where the yellow line is, you know, where the line
yeah.
is you don't cross over to the right. Yeah, that shit needs to be there. I support that shit.
Well, we need to go back to the world of common sense and not worried about what everybody's feelings are.
I don't give a
Because
fuck what people's feelings are.
yeah, I mean, it's like we can when you're worried about everybody's feelings, you're in a world of luxury. You have the luxury to do that at this point in time. Right now, with everything going on, we don't have the luxury to worry about things like that. We have to worry
We're
about
constantly almost at
feeding.
World War III all the time and having to deal with
I
that.
want
And
to I want to feed and house everybody and have everybody not on the streets. That's what I want to start with. When we
oh
can
yeah,
get that accomplished, we can start worrying about
I
everything else.
promote that we start with our veterans then.
Hey, you wouldn't get a disgruntled discussion from me. I would sign that
All
right
fucking people
as
in this
soon as I
world,
seen it.
you know my stance on that. I absolutely hate how we treat veterans. A
Yeah,
lot of people know
and
my stance on that. So
I really think that everybody here on this network, really takes that in with you, because without them, we don't have the freedoms to do what we love to do right here.
and and for all those people that want to say they're a baby killer, this and that, on a day-to-day basis, you don't know the 3 million things going through a military person's head that they have to deal with and shit. And maybe they did accidentally shoot some kid over there, and it haunts them to this fucking day. And as I've known of a few people, that's the reason why they are not here anymore, because of things that they accidentally did or were a part of and found out about, and they absolutely hate them fucking selves. I know it's a real fucking moment, but it's happened. I know not just my friends or friends of mine, but other people's family members and such that have had to deal with it like that. And the first thing I would totally
I'm
focus
Donald Trump, and I
on is their
approve this
fucking
message.
PTSD. Oh, I know he fucking does. But their PTSD is a big thing that needs to be done. Again, as I'll say it, before we start taking other people's immigrants, I don't know how to word this. I guess people that don't want to be there anymore. Where the fuck that word is? I'd like to take care of our own people first.
Yeah.
That's how I view it. And I'm so sick of us being ridiculed for and being called racist and whatnot for not wanting to take these people in. When look at all the other countries that do it though. But why are we so scrutinized and criticized on it? Because we want to take care of our own fucking country for other people. Other people do it. China does it, and Europe does it.
I, the- you're not going to get a
Shit,
statement out of me because I agree
Asia
with.
will fucking kick you out if you're an asshole.
Yeah, well, Asia won't let you move there if you're an asshole. So
Yeah, they actually they need background checks on you before you move into their community because they are very much about what will you do for our community
well,
if you're a foreigner.
that's the way it needs to be more so in everybody's uh, world that they live in. And at the end of the day, if things don't change, things are going to get far worse and everywhere. It's not just one place. We
I
we
mean,
we have to worry about all of it.
I'm just gonna say shit. I've met some foreign dudes, Mexicans and whatnot that I used to work with that bust their ass 10 times more than some white guys I've seen before.
Yeah.
Just fucking saying. Uh, yeah, people want to make the Home Depot jokes and shit. Shit, there's a reason why they like them because they work harder than fucking white dudes most of the time. By the way, my old crew over the road was mostly the Mexican guys because they worked their fucking asses off and they wanted to work side by side with me because I worked my ass off. And yeah, those are the people I actually preferred to work with. And it's again, yeah, I know.
Oh shit, Viking. What'd you do? You talking about
But
your hombres you got hiding
yeah,
in your closet over
yeah,
there?
I haven't seen those guys in fucking years. Yeah, sure.
We're
Fuck.
building a deck tomorrow.
But
Awesome.
yeah, no, fucking God, I liked working with those guys more than I did white guys because they didn't know how to fucking work.
Well, some you get that. You figure that out when you get outside of an office and not worry about what the book says, and you actually have real life experience.
Right, right.
But a
Instead of
lot of these
I was told
people,
this on the news and that on the news, and I'll go by what you said. I should believe that.
yeah. Well, that's where a lot of people are nowadays. For some reason, they still think Dan
The
Rathers
news
is their
doesn't lie
line
to
to.
me.
Yeah,
I believe
well, it
everything the
lies.
news says.
All right, fans. So you've seen it. You've seen what we do here on Conspiracies at Sea. It's a fun thing that me, Viking Storm, and Luna love to get into and discuss. And this one was a fun one because these were some
Well, out of
topics.
pocket. This one was just
What
out of pocket.
well, in some worlds, I could see where they would say that, but for us, it was fun because we got to really go into things that actually did change some of the world as they happened, when they happened, and there was some fallout that impacted the world through all three of these incidences. Viking, great job on covering what kicked off World War One, the Franz Ferdinand incident, and then Luna, you chiming in
Luna did a
with
great job.
a great job with I always have trouble saying his name, Rasputin.
Rasputin.
That's how you
Yep.
say it, right? Yeah.
Like say like raspberry, but put Putin on the end of it. Ras.
I'm gonna put a Putin on the end of you.
It's Rasputin. That's how you say it.
But we touched all these subjects and we said, hey, why don't you join us and have a discussion? Can't wait for this one to come out and I get to actually listen through it on the audio and dive a little deeper into some of these things. So Luna, Viking, any last things you got to say to the fans and let them know
Next month,
anything?
August. What is Liberty Bells? Annie will be there from your neck of the woods, and she will be the main commentator of Liberty Bells show for Frontline Pro. That's their comeback show next month, and it is an all-female show. And there's some out-of-country wrestlers coming. By the way,
That's exciting.
there's a chick coming from Australia, I believe. and the chick can wrestle. I've seen her in some shit. There's some other ones coming that can really wrestle, and then we have the August 30th show, which is Crossfire. We're gonna have 4 former NXT superstars there, including Jack Vaughn, who I know you guys interviewed recently.
Yeah, Jack
Yeah,
Vaughn.
he'll be there.
The veteran himself.
Yep, he'll be one of the 4 that's going to be at Crossfire that's been announced. So that's our big thing, the Frontline going on next month. And Liberty Bells is August, I don't know, 14th, I think.
Okay.
Awesome.
Awesome.
It's our next coming show. I'm sorry, August 9th. August 9th.
Oh,
August 9th. Yes. I know Annie and Kev will be there. It's a big one for us. This Liberty Bells is a big one.
that's awesome. That sounds like it's going to be a fun time. And
We're looking forward to it.
Annie on lead commentary is always a good informational time. She does great work out there.
That's what we were told and we seen is that she'll be like the lead commentator on it.
Yeah, Frontline Pro doing everything that they possibly can to put on even a better show than the last one you may have seen with them. So go check them out. And if you see Viking out there, go talk some conspiracies with them. Get them going out there in the old field.
Nobody knows what I look like. Yeah, sure. They'll see me.
They'll hear your voice and they'll be like,
yeah.
That's the co-captain on Conspiracy at Sea. It's
I'm
Viking.
the other retard that speaks with the other retard.
Then they'll go to Luna and be like, "Hey, how do you keep these two in check?" And who knows? Luna, she just does it. She just clocks
She's
in.
fucking over there like, I don't know. I just do this shit.
She just hits a sound, and then we snap too.
Yeah.
Fans, if you enjoyed this, you can catch us on sporadic Saturdays when neither one of us have anything going on. But outside of that, you can catch me doing everything that I do within your house. They are a wrestling podcast and we talk wrestling all the time. This is the only show on that network that is outside wrestling. You could catch me Monday with one of my friends, the blue-eyed villain himself, Grunmeister, and another one of my friends, the Chaos Goblin, Kevin Calloway, where we talk Monday Night Raw, and we invite you to come in and talk with us because we have 3 subjects, so there's plenty of opportunities for you to have a discussion on one of those subjects. But we invite you in, and we really hope that you all come and join us because Mondays has been really fun as of late. So come check us out. That's every Monday at 7 p.m. Outside of that, I'm on a Thursday show where I watch ECW and I watch it with my buddy House. And this last episode, we had one of our UK chaps join us. He was a real fun Nightwing. He had a good time, and we had a great time with him. We watched November to Remember, the second half. That's a 2-part episode because, well, it was a pretty long pay-per-view back then. So come join us for that one. That is every Thursday at 5 p.m. where we watch ECW, and we want you to be a part of the mayhem there. Thursdays is becoming huge. So tomorrow, if you haven't had enough of me, you can come and see me on Sunday House Party. That's where anybody in household, we get together and we talk wrestling. Usually that week of wrestling, we recap it and we talk about it. You can come and be a part of that. We take a lot of people and we put them onto the show. So come be a part of it. That's on Sundays at around noon, anywhere from noon to 1. Just, you know what? Here's the thing. If you like us and you follow us, you'll know when we go live, and that'll be a fun time for all. So come join us. It's a fun time. IYH is growing. You can see this show here again, only show on IYH that is outside of wrestling. Hopefully there's going to be more to come because we want to get a larger audience and we got to build around what we do best, and that's wrestling and all the wrestling talk. So come join us, come have some fun, and you know what? We will catch you on the next one.
Expose people to magic. I expose them to something they're never otherwise going to see in their boring, normal lives. And I gave that to them. I may forget about them tomorrow, but they'll live with that memory for the rest of